So you're trying to get from Kuwait to Riyadh? Yeah, that trip can sometimes feel like a total marathon, right? But what if I told you there's a way to skip all of that stress? That's what we're digging into today, a private ride service that promises a smooth door-to-door journey. Let's see what it's all about. All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about why this trip can be such a pain in the first place. Then we'll explore this private travel option. I'll walk you through the journey step by step. We'll get into the pricing, and finally, we'll cover how you can book a ride for yourself. Okay, first things first, let's get real about what this trip usually looks like for most people. It's more than just a drive, it's a cross-border challenge that can get pretty complicated. So let's just put it out there. What are the usual headaches? I bet if you've ever made this trip, a few things are already popping into your head. Yeah, it usually boils down to a few big things, right? You're trying to arrange multiple rides, you're stressing about all your luggage, and then you get to the border, which can be a total wild card. Throw in some unexpected delays and zero privacy, and you're wiped out before you even arrive. But what if it didn't have to be that way? This is where a much simpler way to travel comes into the picture. We're talking about a dedicated private transit service designed specifically to get rid of all those headaches. So what is this thing exactly? Look, it's not just a taxi. Think of it as your own private VIP service. That means you get a vehicle just for you and your group, a professional driver, and, this is the game changer, they actually help you with all the border stuff. The whole idea is to make it completely hassle-free. And you know what's one of the best parts? The convenience? The service is available 24/7. And it doesn't matter where you are in Kuwait. Kuwait City, Salmiya, Fahaheel, you name it, they'll pick you up right from your front door. Okay, so we know what the service is, but what does the trip actually feel like? Let's do a little walkthrough, step by step, from the moment they pick you up in Kuwait all the way to your final stop in Riyadh. The whole process is broken down into 4 super simple steps. First, your private car shows up at your door. Then, you just sit back and relax in a comfortable, uninterrupted drive. No other passengers, no random stops. At the border, and this is huge, your driver guides you through everything. And finally, you're dropped off right where you need to be in Riyadh. It's a true A to B service. All right, let's get down to the part everyone wants to know about. How much does it cost? We're going to look at the different car options and the all-inclusive pricing, and that's a big deal. No hidden fees. So you've got 3 main choices, depending on your group size and how much stuff you have. For a standard sedan, you're looking at 180 kd. If you need a bit more space, the Fortuner is 200 kd. And for larger groups or lots of luggage, there's the GMC or Tahoe for 250 kd. The most important thing here is that these fares are fixed and all-inclusive. What you see is what you pay. And just to be crystal clear on what that fare gets you, you get a private vehicle, yep, no sharing, you get that door-to-door service, you get full border assistance, which honestly is priceless, and again, no hidden charges. This makes it a fantastic, predictable option, especially if you're traveling with family. So, we've gone over the problem, the solution, what the trip looks like, and the price. There's just one last piece of the puzzle. How do you actually book one of these rides? They've made booking just as easy as the ride itself. You've got a few options. You can send a message on WhatsApp, which is super easy. You can hop on their website or use the direct booking page, or you can just send them an email. All the info you need is right there. And that's pretty much the whole story. You know, when you stack up all those usual travel hassles against a streamlined private service like this, the choice becomes pretty obvious, doesn't it? So the only real question left is, are you ready for a journey that's actually hassle-free? Definitely something to think about for your next trip.